Hello, I'm here on Goodman Street to do the Q3 2023 update for JQ Rise. I'll be heading up onto the 8th floor now to have a chat with Anthony, who runs the site for us. Anthony, how are we getting on site?
We have constructed all the external walls up until 14th floor, as you say. Internally, corridor walls up to 8th floor, and with a start of pods being lined and level on 1st and 2nd floor, and screed to start next week. We've fitted first fix ceilings and first fix ducting, first fix SVPs and rainwater pipes up until the 4th floor roof on the 4th story and the 8th floor roof on the 8th story, and we should be first fix electrical in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, so with jobs like this, obviously where we're using the pod system for the bathrooms, that's obviously contingent on lots of other work that then follows it. So as you've got the screeding starting next week, that should really transform the job over the next sort of few weeks and months leading after that.
Yeah, with the pods in place, gives us the opportunity to pour the screed. The screed takes then 24 hours to set, which has allowed us to build the internal walls off the screed. That will allow us then to first fix sprinklers and electrical. That will take 1 day per apartment, and then allow us to close up and do the wall finishes. So all in all, probably a week apartment.
Okay.
Per man.
Great. Okay, and we're stood on this roof, which I understand is being completed tomorrow, so it's now got its initial membrane down, and then you're back on site tomorrow?
Yeah, so the VCL's down. We load all the materials onto the roof tomorrow with a view to start laying it on Monday. There's about 9 days work in this, so if the weather stays the way it is, we should be sealed completely in 2 weeks.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so then all these roofs will be sealed. Everything below then is fully watertight, obviously, and we can get all the first fixes in, and then we'll be chasing up the tower, doing the same job. Okay, that's great. Thanks, Anthony. Hope you found that useful. I'll be back here in Q4 to do the end of year update. Post the screeding, we'll be able to get in and have a look at some of the real detail of the apartments. Mortgages, obviously a key part of the purchase transaction for many of our buyers, whether they be investors or owner-occupiers. I sit down with the mortgage team once a week, get a bit of an insight into where the market is, where the products are leading, and then generally taking a view of what we think is the best way forward for products for our clients. We talk to a lot of lenders, a lot of institutions, and get a great oversight into the mortgage market and where it's heading. So I sat down with Del, one of our senior mortgage consultants, to get an insight into where we are currently. Hi, Del.
Hi.
So lots of mortgage rate increases ongoing over the last year particularly. Where are we with mortgage market at the moment and lenders?
Yeah, so obviously we're aware that the rates have gone up quite a few times. So the base rate has actually gone up about 13 times in the last 9-10 months. So, it has been a slightly tough situation for some people. However, we had some good news about a month ago where the inflation rate came down by more than expected. So that meant that the market was boosted. So
better deals were available?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, so they actually felt that the rates were going up continuously even further due to the fact that the inflation wasn't coming down as quick as they actually wanted it to. However, because it came down by quite a large amount, there was actually more confidence in the market.
Okay.
So a lot of the lenders, you will notice, even if you read the tabloids, they've actually reduced their rates in the last month and a half, and even they're continuing to do that as well.
Okay. So lenders are becoming more competitive, and where are you seeing sort of typical rates at the moment for buy-to-let investors?
Obviously, it will depend on what kind of client, what kind of scenario. So obviously, we have, expats, we have foreign nationals, we have people who, live in the UK as well. So it can actually vary for each one. However, I would say around the 5.5 mark
okay.
is kind of where we're sitting at. If you're looking at, say, maybe like an average, possibly.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so that doesn't sound too bad, and particularly on the basis that rates are looking to come down. So we're still seeing rental coverage at that sort of level. Yeah. And I think something that we looked at very recently, Del, when we did an exercise around the additional costs from a mortgage perspective. So say if a client bought from us in 2021, taking that 2-year period up to sort of delivery now, so the type of mortgages that you're working on now, yes, rates have gone up since September 21 to September 23, but what we've looked at is the differential between that cost of mortgage increase due to the rate and the additional yield, i.e. the additional rental value that property is generating. And what we found was that you've pretty much neutralised any increase in interest uptick.
Yeah, true, absolutely. So we had a brief discussion a few days ago. So the rental market is very, very strong at the moment, as you're aware. And apparently you've got a waiting list for every single property, so of about 20 to 25 people. So like I said, the rental market is very, very strong, and it has gone up every year. It generally goes up every year anyway. But in the last year, it's gone up by a larger amount.
Sure.
So you're right. So any kind of rate increase is kind of offset with the rental going up by a larger amount, possibly.
Sure. Okay. And am I right in saying that there's still a lot of products, so i.e. Rate dependent, but there are products for pretty much any type of lender, borrower, any type of buy-to-let investor, owner-occupier. So the market's competitive. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you tell me. My understanding is from our ongoing discussions, obviously we sit down at least once a week.
Yeah.
We don't seem to have a problem with finding products for our investors and owner-occupiers. As I say, rate dependent, but certainly there's a lot of products out there.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, there's new lenders on the market almost every other month. So that shouldn't really be a problem at all. So I personally, my background being a broker a few years ago, there's actually lenders which I hadn't heard of. So recently that I've actually come across. So they're actually in the market, and they're in the market in a strong way.
Okay. So you're finding more sort of specialist lenders, and are we particularly for the prosperity client, are we using more high street bank specialist lenders or a mix of both?
It can be a mix of both, to be honest with you. Again, depends on the actual clientele. So let's say, for example, someone's a foreign national, there may be specialist lenders out there for them.
Okay.
There may be different kind of lenders for, depends on the actual scenario.
Sure.
But, maybe let's say a year ago there were a pool of maybe a larger number of products available, but they're actually coming back to that level soon.
Okay.
So, admittedly, maybe about 2 months ago, there was quite a lot of maybe scaremongering in the market. So you get so-called experts saying that this is going to happen, the rate's going to go up, and X, Y, Z. But if you listen to the actual experts, the rates probably will come down.
Okay.
in about a year, towards maybe 2025.
Okay.
So that may not be ideal for every single client, but to be honest with you, after 2 years, let's say, for example, if you did a 2-year fixed rate, after 2 years, it may well return back to what it was, 9-10 months ago. There's no reason why not.
Okay. So at the moment, then, obviously, you've got a lot of competitive lenders in the market. So lots of products, and the fixed rate is ultimately showing us that if it's lower than the base rate, the fixed rates are showing us that the lenders believe within that window of time, whether it be 2 years, 3 years, rates are going to come down, because obviously otherwise they wouldn't offer rates lower than the base rate.
That is a brilliant point. So generally, I think people feel if the base rate is a certain figure, then any kind of fixed rate offered will be higher.
Sure.
Which may have been the case about 2 months ago or 3 months ago, but that was a period of about a month. There was a lot of uncertainty. However, it's starting to level itself off now.
Okay.
So even if, for example, the base rate is 5+, you may get rates of around about 5 or 4.5. So in another year and a half, the base rate, I believe, most people believe, will come down.
Sure.
So if that comes down to, let's say, even 3, there hopefully will be products available at 3, 2.5.
Okay.
So we're back to where we were maybe 9-10 months ago.
Okay.
So it's something to actually look forward to.
Sure. Okay. I think that gives us a bit of an insight. The takeaway when I talk to Dell, as I say, and the team on a regular basis is that certainly there's lots of products in the market. There's lots of lenders with a lot of appetite to lend. So the kind of, the base of mortgage lending is very much intact and still very competitive. We haven't got a crystal ball, but certainly I think there's a general belief that rates may be somewhere near the peak. We may see another interest rate or another couple of interest rate rises, but the market's telling us that the overall trajectory is down and down over the next 2 years. If you look at where the fixed rate mortgage money is at the moment, I think that at the moment, you've got that additional cost when it comes to completing right now. But as I say, that's offset greatly by the additional rental income that we're now receiving on these properties across the board, ranging from, if we go back to the predicted rates at the point of purchase 2021, we're seeing anywhere between 17 and 21% increase based on when those properties now come to the market. So that additional rental income is a definite cushion to cover that additional interest rate cost. So on the whole, we don't want to say it's a positive situation, but there are positives here from a property investment perspective. I think primarily underpinned by that additional rental value that we're seeing in the market. Moving forward, obviously with that trajectory of a lower interest rate, if you're buying off plan currently, then you're looking forward to lower rates and potentially even higher rental yields. So the outlook is positive for people that are in the off plan purchasing position at the moment. Thanks, Del. Appreciate that.
No problem.
We'll
Thank you very much.
doubt catch up again on Monday, and you can tell me what the latest rates are and latest products, and we'll have another update.
Absolutely.